Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of the Word With Zay podcast. Guys, I'm so glad to be back again this week. And today we have our very first guest, a special guest. She is my best friend and my sister. She is also a wife, a mother, and an entrepreneur. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Miss Martina Jacobs.
The intro. It just hypes me up so much. I love it. I love your life. And I'm so glad that I'm your first guest.
Absolutely. I'm
I
so
kind of feel
glad to
like
have
that's a
you.
lot of pressure.
Not really, not really.
But
I'm
I'm so
excited.
glad. I'm glad that this is episode 3, right?
Yes,
It's a big deal. I'm so glad.
absolutely. We're 3 episodes in.
Going full force.
Absolutely. All gas, no
Hmm.
brakes. So,
Right.
with that being said, I want to go ahead and let's get down to it. So, who is Martina?
She is me. Uh, I'm a mama. I'm a mama. I have 3 boys, Koa, Keaton, and Caden, but we call him Jay because my husband's name is Kagan. And let me tell you, whenever you're hollering in the house, Caden and Kagan gets really.
Uh-huh.
So we call him Jay. And now he is like, do not call him Caden because he's just gonna be like, look, my name is Jay. Okay,
Oh,
so
wow.
it's a whole thing. Um, they're my pride and joy. I love them. They're like little droplets of perfection, if that makes sense. That sounds crazy, but they drive me crazy. But it's just, I wouldn't want to be any other type of crazy. Like they're just. I never would have thought I'd have been like a boy mom, like a 3. But
Mhm.
now, like, I couldn't even imagine, like, not being a boy mom. Like, I love all the things, like wrestling, like, just watching wrestling with them, just the whole, like, just, they're just so chill. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I love the conversations and, like, it's just, they're so interesting like, they're literally, like, the best people. And so I'm just trying to make life easier for them. So that's why I
Absolutely.
love my business. I'm a dog groomer. Um, I love dogs. Dogs are great. Okay, like, be completely honest with you. Sometimes I like animals more than people. I know that's probably horrible. I'm sorry. One of my children's knocking at the door. They're okay though.
All right.
My husband's with them. But yeah, I just love them. It's my passion. I've always known that I wanted to do something with animals, but this dog grooming just kind of fell into place. It just was what it was after I had Keaton. After I had Keaton, he was a NICU baby, so he was in the NICU for 3 months. Um, Give me one moment.
3 hours later.
Sorry, mom life. Um,
All right.
but yes, they it started after. Okay, so Kit Kit was in the NICU for 3 months. He's my miracle baby. I'm telling you, God was in his story. God is. I don't know what I would do without my Kiki, and he is literally a miracle. And he was in the NICU for 3 months, and it was just one of those things where, like, I didn't know if I was going to be. I was working at a vet's office. I loved my vet. I loved Dr. Guzman. I loved being a vet tech. It was the best thing. I loved it.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't know how I was going to, like, progress. And then I'm obsessed with my kids. I didn't know, like, how am I going to work? Like, I didn't have the flexibility, like, I was
Right.
already out of work for a long time because of the NICU experience, and so I didn't know what I was gonna do. And dog grooming, I love to hey, I love dogs, and they were like, hey, you should try it, and I loved it. Dr. Guzman helped me. She helped me get everything started. Wouldn't be where I'm at without her and everyone at X-Way. Carrie, Dottie, Megan, Erica, they just all, everybody, it was like God's timing's perfect, and everything just fell into place. Like I had I just knew I wanted to start my own business. I knew I wanted to be my own boss. I knew if my kids were sick, I wanted to be there for them. I knew I wanted a business where my kids could be involved, and I didn't want anybody to say, hey, you can't take off to go to a doctor's appointment, or like I want to be able to just, and I want them to see that, like, hey, you can do what you want. Like, you can, if you just set your mind to something, you can do it. Like, look
Oh
at you
yeah.
with this podcast. Like, you had a vision, and look at where you're at.
To
So
God be the glory.
amen. And it's just, if you put, and also, like, whenever my business got started, someone said to me, it was my accountant, Karen Roach, God bless her. She told me that what God has that's meant for
Yes,
you,
yes.
man can't take that away.
That's right.
So no one. So I mean, I'm not. Let me tell you, running a business and being a mama and being a wife is literally the hardest
Ooh.
thing. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I get asked that a lot. How do you do it? And I'm like, I don't know. Grace and Alani's and Coca-Cola, because, like, thank God for his grace and caffeine, honey, because let me tell
Lord.
you. But everything just, don't get discouraged by, like, the moral of the story is, like, don't, it was hard. Like, it was very hard to get everything started. And I had a newborn. Like, my business opened in 2020 during a pandemic. Like, I literally decided to open during a pandemic,
Oh yeah.
So but look at it. We're going on 5 years now, and here we are. So my, that's my testimony, that you cannot give up on something just because people tell you that you can't do it, or that the odds are stacked against you. You can do it. You can do
Absolutely.
whatever you set your mind to. You pray about it. You can do it. I'm telling you. And that's what I want my boys to know. I just want them to know that they can do whatever they want to do. Like, Caden Jay, my oldest, he's convinced he's going to be a WWE wrestler. God bless him.
Oh, I love it.
I'm gonna support him every way. We're going to jiu-jitsu tonight. I will get you. You tell me what you want to do. We will figure it out. I will support any dream you want to, because I mean, you got a dream,
Right,
and I mean,
right.
if those dreams can come true, then I mean, praise God. That's all you can do. It makes life more interesting to have dreams and ambitions and goals,
Hmm.
So I just kind of want my boys and everyone to know that, like, you can do it, even though
Absolutely.
sometimes it feels like you can't.
Hey, hey, just give me 1 second. Just one. Just one. Why ain't you following us on our social medias? Why haven't you downloaded the podcast? Why? And I need to know. Huh? Huh? Exactly. There's no excuse. So this is what I need from you guys. I need for you to go right now. Before we get back to this show, I need for you to go to Instagram and I need you to go to TikTok. In the search bar, I need for you to type in a.p.inc media underscore. It'll pop right on up there. Just hit the follow button. And then I need for you to slide right on over. It's right there across the street from it. It's right there on Podcast Avenue. You'll see it as soon as you turn left from Social Media Street. Turn left and you'll see it. Podcast Avenue. Big old sign. The Word With Zay podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. And you can also slide it on YouTube as well if you want to watch it visually. But I need for you guys to go to those platforms, wherever you would like to tune in, and go and hit that follow button and also download. All right, love you guys. Let's get back to the show. Deuces. And see, I love that he loves WWE, and I'm actually they're gonna actually be in Charlotte February 17th,
Oh yeah,
and
we gotta
I
go.
got tickets.
That is right.
I
You did
got
get
tickets.
tickets. You need
Yes.
to send me where you're sitting, because
I, I,
um
I did. I texted
did
you.
you?
Yeah. I
I'm
sent you the
horrible.
link.
Okay, well, I was talking to Ann about it from church, and she was, her boys are obsessed with it
Oh,
too.
yeah, 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 yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, are you up high? Because we're gonna have to be up high, because, honey,
I
them
don't,
tickets is
I can't remember how high we're going to be, but I know we're going to be like in the middle.
okay. Okay, I was looking at, like, the 200 section, like over there, up, not at the lower part, but at the upper part. So I'm gonna I'll look at your seats and I'll try to like kind of get near you because we're supposed to be doing that. My mom and daddy's supposed to be going. My nephew, we're all supposed to be going because it's John Cena's last
Farewell tour.
it's yeah, and it's like it is so nostalgic. Can we just take a moment? Okay, I literally like my papa.
Uh-huh.
Okay, my papa, he cannot read or write. He cannot
Wow.
he's just from that generation, they didn't go to school, they worked,
Yes.
so he is the reason that I am so into WWE because like whenever I was little, me and my cousins would watch wrestling with Papa, and like to this day he will, like, he's convinced wrestling is real. It is real. The storyline's real. Everything's real. Usos, all the bloodline, it is real. You can't tell it otherwise. So
Thank you.
Jay, right? So Jay, my oldest boy, is named after my papa. So
Uh-huh.
Jay is okay.
Yeah.
So we were watching, Netflix on Raw, like it's a big deal. It's streaming. So I was sitting there like watching it, just super excited, waited all day for it. I mean, I was so excited. And like it hit me, Zay, that my papa doesn't have Wi-Fi. He doesn't have, like, and I was like, oh my goodness, Shay, Papa cannot watch this. So, of course, like, we called him. Jay was completely done with wrestling at this point, by the way. Like, completely done. He was like, you know what? I'm more concerned that Papa can't watch it because he just knows him
Oh,
watching it. And, like, my poor Papa was just, like, scrolling through the channels, like, trying to find Monday. And, like,
Lordy.
it just breaks my heart. That's the first time he's not watched it, I remember. It's just, and then, like, just watching like the old like Hulk Hogan came back to Undertaker, like just watching like all like it's a whole new era, and it's
Yes.
like so wild that like my papa, my daddy, my aunts, like, and then to like see my boys get so excited about it, it's just like the best feeling. It's like a full circle moment.
Oh yeah. So I want to go back to that. Did you see on the Netflix premiere how the crowd booed Hulk Hogan?
I did.
Like I
I
I
did see it,
literally
but I also saw like I was reading up on it because I'm invested, and
uh
they were saying that like a lot of the people respected that, like, they didn't boo the Undertaker because like the
uh
Undertaker came out and was like
he was a
basic.
motorbike era.
Yeah, and he was like supporting Rhea Ripley.
Yes.
Hulk
Yes.
Hogan's thing. I feel like, oh, I don't feel like this. I mean, I don't necessarily have an opinion on it, but I'm just saying what I
Hmm.
heard. That he
Allegedly.
allegedly, yes, allegedly, that basically it was for the money for him. It wasn't like the nostalgia for Undertaker coming back out and like these. But I mean, we don't know that for a fact. But I'm just
Right.
saying he got booed because people were like, well, you don't really care. You don't really support like that. You ain't been through the trenches like we, like,
God.
because some people don't like Coco and they don't respect the fact that like he did leave and he did, So
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that just, and it is a new era, so it's like, oh, you coming back for this? But I mean, he had to. He started it. Like he was the
Mhm.
first. So I mean, I thought it was great. He came back personally. I think the booing reaction is a good reaction because you want some, like, booing is better than no reaction.
That's
So
right.
I mean,
That's right.
my thing is at least he got a reaction. I mean, that's good. I feel like he'll probably come back for WrestleMania or something like that. But you know what's
Hmm.
going to make me upset?
What?
If we pay this, if we go, well, you're going definitely. But if we
Yes.
all go to go see wrestling, John Cena don't come out. Bye.
I'm gonna be livid.
You know he wasn't on there Monday. He was not on there Monday.
Uh-uh.
What do we? Yes, he was not there Monday. Not
No.
there. I think Cody
Uh-uh.
Rhodes didn't even come out. Cody Rhodes
No.
didn't come out. Don't be like, I get that this is a big deal, but like I don't want it to be like where it's like, oh, one Monday is the 18 roster, then the
Right.
next Monday is the. So what if I am going to the set? Like, like I don't. I'm not in my like CM Punk era. Like I don't really care that much about CM Punk. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm here for John. Okay, I'm here for John. I'm ready for this storyline. I'm here for the Usos. I'm
Yeah.
here
Oh
for
my
all this.
gosh. Yes.
Like this is what I'm here for. What are we doing? So
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be very upset if John Cena does not come out because Yeah, I just need to live it. I need to experience his music in a packed out arena before
Yes.
I never can again. That's my logic.
And see, I've been saying since I found out I was going, I've been saying the whole time, I need to see some form of the OG bloodline. Even if it's just Paul Heyman, I need to see some form of the
Oh my
OG
goodness,
bloodline.
Keith would lose his mind if he saw Paul Heyman.
Oh my gosh.
He loves Paul Heyman. Let me tell you, I tried to get Paul Heyman as my boys are obsessed with the WWE figures, you know.
Uh,
Paul Heyman ain't never wrestled. That man ain't never wrestled in that ring. Please
yes he
tell me
did.
why. Did
Yep. He wrestled CM Punk. This was back in
Oh,
2013. He
well,
wrestled
Lord
CM
forgive
Punk.
me. I'm sorry. I didn't, but I just see him in with a mic. I like Paul Heyman. Don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
dear goodness, that he don't need to be $70. I don't need that. Like, hey, homie was expensive. Let me tell you. Paul Heyman was expensive. Kiki did not get Paul Heyman for Christmas, but
Amen.
his birthday's coming up. We'll see. But let me tell you, he need to go down a little bit because and Braun Breaker right now is $50.
Ain't no
Braun
way.
Breaker, chill out, Braun. What? Yeah,
Ain't no
sorry.
way.
Y'all be killing me now, and now that they're like global, like Netflix, like I just imagine the increase in the like Christmas of this year of how much these WWE wrestlers are going to cost me.
Oh,
Stop it.
just imagine how much worse those prices are gonna get.
Mhm.
I don't think they're gonna ever go down.
No, we'll never
The
see that day.
right, the older they get, those specific action figures get, like the Hall of Famers and stuff.
Yeah, and I
They're
think that's why Paul Heyman, because I mean he
yeah.
has been there for so long. Like, let's be real. Let me not
Ooh.
give. Sorry, Paul. Let me give you your creds where
Paul
they're due.
Heyman, like you're
Yeah,
listening.
yeah, yeah. In my eyes, everyone we're talking about is going to hear this. They're
Yes.
not. Hey, they can. They might.
Right. They just might slide in one day and be like, hey, let me tune in right quick.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So
Yeah.
I want to circle back really, really quick, because you mentioned your children, you mentioned your business, and you're also a wife as well. How are you able to find a balance in all three of those?
Um. I'll let you know when I find out.
Okay.
I
Well,
don't know. I don't necessarily know if I have a balance. You just take it day by day. I will say that, like, I am really trying to be big on consistency this year. Like, it's really good for, like, consistency, like a
that's my
routine.
word.
Yeah, like a routine. Like I have like 8 Excel spreadsheets going down right now. I'm like monitoring everything like a hawk, like just trying to just consistency, like a routine, like a very like my house is I have 3 boys, so like my house is already in chaos. If I can minimize the chaos with some consistency and some routines and some scheduling, that's what I'm gonna do. So that's
MK
my
in the
balance right now.
chaos.
Yeah,
M-
amen.
MK in the chaos. Martina and Keegan in the chaos.
Yeah, yeah. MK in the chaos. That should be us. And you
Absolutely.
know, I honestly, it's just him in the chaos. I love Kagan to death, but let's be real. He's involved in the chaos with them. Like he's literally like fight. Like they're doing wrestling moves together. Like
Oh, I love that.
he is very much the chaos court. Like he's kind of like I'm the chaos coordinator. He's kind of like the chaos like I don't. He's involved in it, so he
He
can't.
he's the executioner. He executes the chaos.
Yeah, he starts it. I mean, let's be real.
He's
97%
a
of the time,
mastermind.
yeah, he stresses me out too. I love him, but he is. He's like, Jay, let's fight. Like, no, chill, chill. Let's not fight at this particular moment. Can we please? Like, let's breathe. Yeah,
Oh, I
it's a
love
lot.
that.
That's why, like, anytime anybody comes, like, please, like, respectfully, like, I love everyone dearly. I truly do. But please don't just pop up at my house because
Oh my
it's
gosh.
chaos. Like, first of all, it's chaos, and I'm the type of person I can't deal with you like seeing all the chaos, even though I know you know I live in the chaos, but I don't need you to see it. Like
Right.
that sounds so
Right.
horrible. Like, give me a minute. Like they're probably like Cola's probably has on no clothes. Like Cola's probably eating like Funyuns walking around rubbing his belly. Like, Kola, my baby, eats me out of house and home. So,
He's a
like,
he's a growing boy.
honey,
He's a
growing.
growing boy.
He's a big bag. That man is gonna be. He's a big bag. He is. He eats
No way.
everything, honey. He's gonna be like. He's gonna be a linebacker, a sumo wrestler. He's gonna be something because that man will eat anything you give him. I ain't never had a child that eats as much as Cora Drake. He is Kagan Drake's son because they both eat me out of house and home. Okay.
Lord.
It's like we can't. My fam bam can't go out to eat. Like we can't. Like let's go eat Mexican food. Like everybody, let's go sit down and eat. Not ours. That's two. There's three of them. They're very that they eat a lot. With that's just we do meals at home. We have to budget it because these mama jamas they eat a lot. It's bad. Yeah.
Oh my. So, you you told me a few weeks ago whenever we were on the phone, you experienced a loss not too long ago. And I want you to kind of talk about that because I feel like that particular topic is so necessary to discuss. Do
Okay.
you remember what that was that we talked about?
Yeah. My sister-in-law. She passed away. Um. She. It was it was a hard time. I don't necessarily like when everyone experiences grief differently, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay how you handle your grief. Like I just kind of wanted to make that note. And it's also okay that like my sister-in-law was getting killed. Like she realized and she was getting killed, but God it God had other plans. It was just it did she suffered with addiction as a lot. I've seen that a lot in my family and it's just been it's a lot to go through. It was really hard on my husband because she passed away on my nephew's birthday. Like
Wow.
yeah. So her son's. It was just it. It was that night. And my husband had a really hard time. Everyone, I mean, everyone had a very hard time. But it was just one of those things that now everyone's okay, but everyone had to go through their own journey of dealing with the grief. Like it hits you in waves. Um, and the only thing that I know to do is just be there for him, like be there for my mother-in-law, be there for my husband, be there for, my sister-in-law, my nephew, my niece, and just remind him every day, like I don't want her legacy to die. Like I don't think that should happen. Like just because someone dies early in life, that doesn't mean that they're like they need.
Right.
My boys know, like Toya's all over my house. Like my boys know who Toya is. They know that's their Aunt Toya.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's very important. And it's also very important that like people realize that addiction can hit you so fast and so hard and you don't understand it if you haven't been through it. So like you can't
Definitely.
judge like how people and addiction doesn't necessarily the way I look at it in my opinion, addiction doesn't necessarily have to be a substance like drinking, anything, appeal, anything like that. Like addiction can be anything that keeps you focused, that keeps your focus away from God. Like
That's right.
if you feel like you need it, if you feel like you need that over the love that God has for you, then you
Mm.
should kind of be like, listen, maybe I'm addicted to this. Maybe I need to I like anything, so it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to grieve differently. It's okay to it's okay to not be okay. Like
Yes.
I don't want people, I feel like a lot of times people just like hold on to it and they just like, well, like for example, me, I'm real bad about like, I'm a recluse. Like if I'm going through something, like I'm literally gonna hibernate. Like I'm gonna go on do not disturb. Like I'm gonna, and it's really bad. And then I
Yes.
kind of go into a depression state. Um, and then you've got like some people that can't stop. Like if they're going through something, it's like they have to suppress it, and then it just all hits them at one time. And it's just, I just feel like it should be known that one, it's okay to talk to people if you feel like you need to, and you have an army behind you, like everyone had, like if you talk to me, like talk to me, be
Right.
like, look,
Like for
I'm not,
real.
yeah, like reach out to Zay, like don't feel like you have zero people to talk to, type of thing. Like I just want, and and another thing, like my daddy was a police officer.
Hmm.
And he this like just happened like right around Christmas time. My Jay and Kiki wanted to see like Daddy's old tapes and stuff of
Yeah.
like whenever he had traffic stops. And they were just watching it one day, and Toya, Kagan's sister, literally came out of the gas station and did not know who my daddy was. Like this was back in, I think the date was like 2012 or something like that. I don't know when the date was, but she came out and she just hit the traffic stop. The man was fighting with my daddy, and there was some blood. There was some things going on, and so she came out of the store with a rag and was just helping. Didn't know anything, didn't know, but like just like a angel on earth, just coming out helping. And like my daddy seen it and he called us. He was like, "Oh my goodness, like I'm positive that's Toya," and he brought the video over here, and my like Hagen watched it, and it just like seeing her, and then like the full circle moment, like that's a God thing, like it's
Yeah.
literally a God thing that
God wink.
like yeah, it's a God wink. It's like there like everything happens for it. Like she was an angel on this earth, and just like her time's gone, but we are still going to remember her forever. She is never just, we don't understand God's timing, and it's so hard to grasp that. Like we don't understand why she doesn't get to be here. I will never understand, and I'll never think it's fair, but it's also the point where like he gives you little God winks saying like, hey, she was here for a purpose.
Oh
She
yeah.
was here, like she had, and even like Miss Anissa, my mother-in-law, I don't think she would mind me saying this, but um, she has dreams. Like, I mean, God sends her like the most, I'm not going to go in, those are, hers to share, but, I just feel like he does, like and I feel like that helped her, and his love and her and his grace helped her get through it. And it's just, the dreams helped her, and it's crazy. Like it's all insane how it all happens. But I know that was meant. Kagan needed to see that video when he saw it. He needed to see his sister. He had a dream about his sister one night.
Wow.
I won't speak on it, but
Yeah.
it like what all. But he did get one, like
Hmm.
and it helped him. Like, and it's just, you just, and it doesn't sound like it in the moment, but like and even whenever my grandmother passed away, it's just like you get little winks that everybody has a purpose, and you don't understand it, but everything happens for a reason, and you're gonna
Absolutely.
get through it. You just gotta stay strong, and it's a daily battle. Like you're gonna have to battle the sadness, the grief, the what ifs. The what ifs are probably the most like hardest thing I feel like is like, well, what if she was here? What if we could have did this differently? Or what if? And that's what'll eat you alive. It's like the what
Hmm.
ifs, and you have to let that go. Like you have to let that go. That, and it's so much harder said than done. I mean, it's so much easier said than done. But if I could give anybody advice, it was just be to give it to God and stop asking yourself the what ifs, because you're never gonna. You can't rewrite it. You can't change it.
And
I,
please get help. Therapy,
reach out.
something.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't
yes,
sit in it. Don't stay in it. And that's,
right.
you got it. The first like step to knowing you have a problem is just saying you have a problem, and it's
Admitting it,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, like it's okay. Like I had very bad postpartum depression, like because when like with Jay, my first baby,
Hmm.
I did not take care of Jay the first like 2 months of his life, like
Oh,
full fledged
wow.
honesty. Like I just
Yeah.
couldn't. Like my grandma died. That the last conversation I had with my grandma was that she was so excited to see Jay. I go into the hospital to have Jay, and then she's in the hospital too, and my papa's basically having to pull the plug on her,
Oh my
and
gosh.
like, and then he was born during Hurricane Matthew, so like Matthew hit
Mm.
right after I had him. We couldn't leave the hospital. I had him in Lumberton of all places, so of course it was just a lot, and all of that stacked on top. I just was a black cloud. Like I don't remember. Like, and I feel so bad that I don't remember. But if it wasn't for my husband, like he wasn't my husband at the time, but I mean that was probably like the moment I knew that hey, like this, like Kagan's my person because he literally like he got up every 2 hours. He took care of that. I mean, because I was a black cloud. Like I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how it, and I still suffer like with it, like with anxiety and depression to this day because of it. And it took, and I mean Jay's 8, I mean don't get me wrong, I it took me a while to like it because like nobody could, my mama couldn't help me, my mama just lost her mama, she couldn't, and then her daughter's over here with a brand new baby trying to figure out how to be a mother but also trying to grieve. It was just a lot, and we were all just black clouds, and it
Wow.
was, and I had a lot of anger. Like I had once, like my stages kind of went from sadness to anger, and like
Yep.
once the anger set in, I didn't let go of that. And like my friend, I was talking to one of my best friends yesterday, and she said something to me that helped me so it like made me feel good because she was like, I don't understand how you can just like not be angry, like how you can just like let it go. And she was like, yes I do. She said God helps you with that. She said that's it. And I'm like, yes, you're right, I had to pray for him to take away the anger out of my
Yeah.
heart because it was so bad. Like it was so bad, and I can never like let my don't. I'm not gonna say I don't get angry. Of course, I flip out
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. So like, I mean, but I'm just saying I can't let it consume me. Like it was
Yes.
the anger of like my grandma not being here to see my son being raised, the anger of like my nephew and my niece not having their mama, the anger, like you will start to blame. Like I took it so far. Then, like, I mean, my daddy lost everybody angry about it, just so angry that it just consumes you. Like, anger, oh, people don't talk about it enough. Like,
Right.
they do not talk about, like, how it can consume your life because I was a walking just. That's probably why I apologize so much now. Like I feel like we just had therapy session because honestly, that's probably why everybody says I apologize about everything.
You do.
It's but it's probably
You do.
because
Yeah.
for so long I was so unapologetic. Like I was
Yeah.
such a just absolute just shell of a human. Like I did not. There wasn't no emotions coming in here. I was mad at the world. You were gonna
Wow.
know I was, and so like now I guess that's why I'm so like, I'm sorry, I'm not perfect. I'm sorry, like I apologize for everything because I was so mean. Like I was. Like I don't know how Kagan dealt with me. God bless him. Yeah, Kagan's
And
been with me for 10 years. He's seen every stage of it. But bless his soul. He had to understand. He understood though, and even now, like he knows I'm nowhere the person I used, and it's all because of God. Like God, you have to pray for those things to be taken away because I'm
hmm
telling you, it'll consume you. It will consume you, and you gotta let it go. But you gotta be willing to let it go. Like you
right.
can't like he's not a genie. Like I mean, like you can't just make a
Yeah.
wish
Yeah. Yeah.
and want it to come to. Like you gotta put in the work. You gotta realize you need to change. You gotta know you gotta be consistent with. Like another word, consistency. Like you gotta be consistent with your prayers. You gotta be consistent with you gotta be cautious, consistent and
Amen.
cautious with what you're praying about.
Yeah.
Um, So, and you got to have the confidence to know that you can do it. Like you can be happy. You gotta have the confidence too.
Yeah, like it's just it's so important. And I love what you said about prayer. And one thing that I've learned to do in this season, I've learned to thank God for what He has done and what He is doing. But I'm also this is gonna catch some ears. I've learned in this season to also thank God for not doing the things that I asked Him for
Yeah,
because of something in that He's seen that I didn't see.
right. Exactly. Yeah, because like I wanted exactly. That's great because yes, I would like I wanted if it was up to me, I would have been married. Like me and Kagan would have been married right after I had Keaton. Like we would have went ahead, like we would have, which like but that wasn't God's time, and I needed to go through we needed time. Like you
Yeah.
need to go through your own. I needed to learn how to deal with my emotions. I needed to learn how to how to get through things alone. Like I
Mhm.
needed to figure. Like I've always had my parents are like my rock. Like I'm always the type of person that's like, look, I want to make my parents proud. I want to make my husband proud. I
Yes.
want to make kids proud. Like I want to make you want to make so many people proud that sometimes you forget about yourself. Like you're just so because that's me. Like I'm real big on like, oh my goodness, I don't want people to be disappointed in me. Like my business. Like I don't want my accountant to be disappointed in me. She's helped me. Dr. Goods and gave me my start. I don't want her to be disappointed in me. But when in reality, like if I fail or don't, it's not going to affect them. It's completely up to me. I can't put that much pressure on myself to feel like I need to please everybody else and do it.
Right.
Like you've got to you've got to work on yourself. Like you have to fully put in the work. Nobody can do it for you. And that's like you can't sit there and as far as like as far as praying, you can't depend on everybody else to be your prayer warriors
My
for you.
God.
Like you've got to like nobody's gonna cover your kids like you are.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna cover your husband like you are. Like nobody's gonna do that because it's not their life. I mean, of course, don't get me wrong. Like, I know my papa's prayers has prayed for me, and I know Miss Eileen, Kagan's grandparents have as well, and his mother, and everyone. I'm just saying, you still have to remember that it's got to come from you. Like,
Yeah.
you've got to be consistent with it, and you've got to put in your own devotion and your own understanding as to why you're praying for this, why you want, and like you just said too, why it doesn't come, like why things don't happen that you wanted to happen.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's just not in God's time, and it wasn't in your will, His will for your life.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I want to circle back for a moment, but before I want to circle back to your business, but before we do that, we have in this whole episode thus far, we hadn't told none of the listeners how we met.
Oh, that is right. I feel like that's probably a major part.
Do you remember?
Oh, my wedding, because you made the playlist, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah. First Lady. I'm guessing First Lady had told you about me, and you reached out
Mhm.
to me about making a slideshow for your wedding,
Yeah. Mhm.
and then and then working with the media team, and so
Mhm.
that's kind of how it all started. That's how
Yeah.
I see it. Do you see any different?
No, that's definitely how I say. I feel like the media team though, like really like sparked the friendship though, because we were
Yeah,
like so invested and so devoted to like, what are we gonna do? Like, how can we make things better? I feel like we just felt led to do it, and we were not stopping until we got it done.
yeah, and I remember because before I was approached about I won't say approached. That sounds so harsh. Before I was asked, I'll just say that before I was asked about the media, about being literally being the media team member
Yeah,
in it,
yeah.
um, I was doing my own stuff. I had the Word Was Day talk show back in 2020, and I was doing graphic designs for that, promoting episodes weekly. And First Lady came up to me asking about it, and that's kind of how it started. And then later on down the road, I was introduced to you through making a slideshow for your win, and then you came along and doing photography, and we grew from there.
All right. And look at where it's at now.
Yeah,
Like, just,
it's
I'm telling you, the whole, it just, RPM in general is literally like, I don't understand how you can, like, not look at the growth and the just where it started to where it's at now and not see God in it. You know,
yeah.
like and just like us, like trying so hard to I remember being so nervous and I was like taking pictures because like I knew
Hmm.
like I would just be like sitting in service and I don't know how to describe it. It's like I feel like I had, like, sometimes I kid you not, I don't even remember like taking the picture. Like, it's just like it just happened, you know? And I'd be like at the right moment at the right time. And it was just,
Yeah.
but it was all just God's timing, you know? But it was so just cool that I feel like I had to do this and like I had, you know, and
Hmm.
just seeing where it's at now and just seeing like that we like helped like contributed to that is just
Yeah.
so cool. Like, it's such a privilege, like it's like an honor to like know that, hey, like we we were some stepping stones, you know, to and
Hmm.
because to now like their Instagram banging,
It's
Facebook
awesome.
banging, like they do it, I mean, they're, and we could, and what's funny is that we could never do what they're doing
Mm-mm.
now, like,
Ain't
because
no
that
way.
was it. Never, never. And that's, but it's because it wasn't in our timing. That's not where we were
Uh-uh.
supposed to be. But at the time, we were like, wait a minute, what did we miss? I remember us being like so like just defeated because it was kind of one of those things where like, okay, we had
Ooh.
kind of we felt like we had completed what we were set out to do.
Yeah.
I was about to have Koa, you know, I was my third baby. We were trying to just, we were like, look, and then we had prayed, me, you, and First Lady literally prayed. We were like, we need help. Like, we prayed. And then next thing we know, like, we've got the best. Like,
Literally.
that literally the best. That's just proof. Like, I remember us literally like a group chat with like just us three, just us saying like, hey, we need to pray for God to send us some help. And now, like, the best videographer, the best photographers, the
Yeah, we
best,
got
like, it's,
three photographers now.
yes, and they're so, I mean, I think like they're even like starting their own little their businesses. So it's just like, look what
Yes.
flourished from that. Like, that's so amazing. And like, honestly, like, shout out to Tan, Pastor and First Lady, for like allowing us to, like, not like allowing us to grow. And like, because I remember like taking a pause from the media team and then not really knowing where to go and what to do, and like they were just so supportive and so just like very, just their guidance is just amazing. Their prayers, they really help you. And I remember Tan, she said something to me because I was nervous about I'm helping the children now, and I love those. I'm telling you, it is the best. Like, don't get me wrong, love media, but if we're being completely honest, like, I will always want to stay where I'm at. I feel like
Right.
I love those babies. And it holds me accountable. And that's what Tana told me. My First Lady, she was just saying, you know, you can't, if you're teaching these kids, then you're gonna dive deeper, you're
Oh
gonna, you
yes.
know. And it did, like, I'm like so much more into just reading, just studying, because like
Mhm.
whenever these kids ask me questions, I need to have the correct answer for them, and I want them to look up to me, and I want to be an example for them. And it makes me just so happy. Like, it makes my heart happy. Like, it's so different. It's just crazy. Like, where we started to where we're at now. Like, if you'd have asked me this a couple of years ago, I'd be like, no, I don't. I'm pretty
Mm-mm.
sure I'm not gonna have the patience. I can't. I mean, let me tell you. 3 to 5 requires a lot of patience. Nurse, like that. Let me tell you. And I would have been like, you're crazy. You were crazy, but no, it wouldn't trade it. Like, it's crazy. it's so wild just how things just happen and fall into place. And I'm so thankful for RPM because we're look at us. Like we got so like you're literally my brother. Like I don't
Absolutely. Absolutely.
like if anybody asks me, I'm like, yeah, that's my brother. Like I will, like I too, like I love Zay. Like and because we got
Absolutely.
so closer, like we can. You're like the phone call, like it's just so amazing knowing. And a lot of people don't have this, like because okay, I I grew up where like churches were very cliquey. Like I hope this is so not bad that I'm saying this. But I'm
Well,
just being
allegedly, churches were
uh
so very creepy. Allegedly.
allegedly. So I'm just saying it's really great that I don't feel like I can say that I do not feel like that is my church. Like I'm just saying like I feel like I always feel welcomed. Like I always like if I missed a Sunday, like somebody's reaching out to me. They're like, "Are
Oh
you
yes.
okay?" Like they are
Uh-huh.
very, and they're like, I mean that to say like I have people within there that I can call. Like I've got different people for different scenarios in my life, and that's a big deal. You know, like I got a spiritual mother, which is my pastor Tina. Like I can call her whenever I need some advice. Like I need some advice, or I just need to we have a different type of relationship. Me and you, I can call you and just basically cry my eyes out. You're not going to judge, type of
Oh.
thing, you know.
We
And
listen,
then
but we don't judge.
we listen, but we don't judge. And then like pastor, like I know that if I needed anything, like they like wrestle. Like
Mhm.
we went to wrestle one day, and they just like if you know me, you know I can't drive. Like if you know me, you know I cannot drive. Don't
Oh
let me
my.
drive your vehicle. I can't do it. So we were leaving wrestling at night, and like Pastor and his daddy let me follow them home the whole time. You know, like they didn't have to do that. Like they don't.
Right.
You don't have to do certain things like that. You know, like but just the kindness of their hearts is just. I'm so thankful and grateful, like genuinely, and like Pastor, First Lady, like I'm telling you, you can call her. Now you might have to call her a couple of times, but that's me. You have to call me a couple of times. She will not care that I said that either. But let me tell you something. She's gonna talk to you about anything you need to talk to her about. Anything, and I promise you, she won't judge. She'll pray with you right there on the phone.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
can I say this too right quick? We've been saying these names, y'all. Please don't sue us. Please don't sue us. We love y'all so much. Okay, go ahead.
Oh goodness, you think no? It's
No,
Pastor.
I'm just
I'm
playing. I'm just playing.
I didn't know we weren't supposed to say names. They won't care. I think they won't care.
I'm
We're
just
good.
playing. Go ahead.
Oh, we forgot to say allegedly. That's the problem. We're supposed to say allegedly.
Allegedly.
But yes, but that's how. Moral of the story
Yeah.
is, thank God for RPM because
Yes.
it brought us together. It brought a lot of people into my life that I can't imagine life without. You know, and it made my I I I got so much closer to God. More, you know. I'm so grateful, and I always will be. So, and that's how we met. Like, you know,
And I've always said RPM is where everything, like
it did.
ministry wise, like I
Mhm.
was on the media team. I tried to stay past my season, but I couldn't do it. And now I'm on the intercessions team. I'm an usher. Like the calling on my life has really unfolded at Radical Praise Ministries, and it has too at my other church, New Greater St. James.
Right.
It has there as well. That is my roots. That is where I was born,
Mhm.
and it's
And
amazing.
and that goes to say that like just try it out. Like just come out and come be with us one Sunday. Come sit with me and Zay. Like we're
Yeah,
not because like we don't feel like just because like don't just specifically for like my cousins if you're listening come and sit with me because like don't feel like if you got hurt by a church like if you've been hurt by like say you got really involved and something happened and you kind of have a bad taste in your mouth don't let that don't let that steer you away from God. Like don't let the church hurt or don't let people do that to you, because I'm not saying that every church is perfect. I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying that like mine's the best of all. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that don't feel like just because you've been hurt before that you're automatically going to get hurt again. That was man, that was not God. So don't
Right.
like, well, just try it out. It doesn't church, because like people always, and then you hear like, oh, they're just church hoppers. So if you're getting the word, you go where you hip hoppity hop where you need to go. If you're
Mhm.
getting the word, my papa is one of the he is the type of person that gets in his truck on a Sunday morning and he says, Lord, lead me. And honey, he
Wow.
shows up to wherever he is. So he might be at my
That's
church one
awesome.
Sunday, so like your relationship with God is between you and God. Don't let man try to tell you that you have to do certain things a certain way. You get into the word, you dig deep into it yourself, you reach out when you need to. Don't let it be something that requires so much pressure, so much that you got to please. Because I'm a people pleaser, and I kid you not, it it I got broke. Don't be a people pleaser. You can't. The only person you need to worry about is pleasing is God. Don't feel like, So I just invite everyone to come sit with us.
Absolutely. So, um, so what else I would like to talk about? So remember, I said I want to let's circle back to your business. So you said that it's your business is called Marty's Pretty Pets, a grooming business.
Yes, I'm a dog groomer.
Um, and you said it started in 2020.
Yes.
So, what dreams or aspirations do you have concerning your business, and what are you doing, or what steps are you taking to bring that to reality?
Um, The consistency is a big thing for me. Like being consistent is a really big thing for me. I have a groomer in my shop now, which is a really big deal because it's adding in more income. It's adding in more clientele that I cannot accept. She can accept. It's amazing, and she's amazing. My speech, my son's speech therapist. Her name is Miss Melody. Please keep her in your prayers, by the way, too. She is suffering a cancer battle, but she's one of the strongest women I know, and she's amazing. She has been Jay's speech therapist since he was 2. He's 8 now. And I remember her coming to me and saying, hey, if you're hiring, I've got somebody. And she recommended her. She came in, and she's amazing. Like I learned from her as well. She has experience that I don't have. I have experience that she doesn't have. So I just feel like we really balance each other out. And my business is like my baby. Like it's like my 4th child. So like it's really hard. Like I've been wanting to hire somebody for a very long time, but I'm just people have burned me, and it scares me. Like I have some trust issues.
Hmm.
So it just scares me, like handing go, like it just scares me. But praise God, like she has been amazing. I would not trade her for anything. I'm so grateful for her, and I think she's probably been like my biggest asset so far. And now my biggest goal for right now is I want a building that's mine. Like I love where I'm at. Like I love the location. I love where I'm at. It's right in front of my church. Love that. But it's not mine. Like it's not I'm renting. I want
Yeah.
something that is my own. And so I'm just kind of that's my goal. Because I know I have full confidence that Marty's Pretty Pigs is my career. Like this is what I want to retire. Like this is what I want to leave to my boys. I know that this is what's meant for me. So now that I've got the confidence, like that. Okay, I'm gonna continue on with this, because I always said, like, if I can make it 5 years, if I can just make it 5 years, then I think I can stick this out. Like I can do this, and August the 15th will be 5 years that we've
Wow.
been open. So I've got to get my own location, and I've got to just work towards it being mine, so that because I'm really big on like I don't want anybody to like take anything from me that I've worked so hard for.
Hmm.
So I mean, I just want something that's mine. That's my
Absolutely.
biggest goal, and to just expand more clientele. I want to get some merch in my shop. So yeah, if y'all can give us a call at 910-506-4481. Had to plug in there that if your fur baby needs a good bath, cut, anything, just call me. I'm excited, and I love what I do. Like I truly, I don't think a lot of people can say that they love what they do. You know, and if I ever get to the point where I don't love what I do, I don't want to do it. Like if I ever
Oh
get
yeah.
burnt out with diagramming, like if or I ever don't have the same passion for it, then I don't want to do it. Because if you don't have a passion for something and you don't love what you're doing, you're not going to be successful. You're not going to be everything that you're meant to be. So
Oh
you
yeah.
gotta. So I just want to, I want to keep my passion for it, and I love it. I do. I genuinely love my job, and I love what I do. I love my clients. I love interacting with them. I love meeting new animals. Like it's just, I wouldn't trade it. And I love the fact that my kids are there. Like my kids can be there because it's mine. Like it is
Oh
my
yeah.
business, and I can have my kids there. Nobody can be like, oh, your baby can't be with you. Like he's here, and if and it even says it in my contract too, like grooming contract. Like I get that some owners don't. It's okay if I'm not the groomer for you, I still love you. Like
Absolutely. We love
like
you with the love of the Lord.
yeah, I still love you. Like it's okay. Like if I'm not the one that suits your needs, like if you don't like that my kids are there, or you don't like the way I groom, or you don't like my prices or anything like that, like it's okay. Like I still love you. You don't have to
Absolutely.
like you don't have to get mad. It's okay.
I love that. And I also love the part about how you said that how you enjoy what you do.
Yeah.
And I've always heard this saying that whenever you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Amen.
And
Right. And that
I was talking to my mother yesterday, because I was just telling her just how much fun I've been having lately making content for TikTok. I have
you've
been
been
having
killing it.
so much fun, and I'll talk about
And you can
about my
tell.
socials and stuff at the end of this episode. But yeah, like Martina,
You,
I have when I tell you I have it like I don't even feel like I'm working. Yes, I'm working my way up to start this as a career with
yeah.
podcasting and content creating, but I'm telling you, I don't feel like I'm working at all because I
No.
love it and I'm having so much fun. It is ridiculous.
And that's what you want. Like you want to, like, and don't get me wrong. That's how I knew I was done being like a veterinary assistant. Like
Hmm.
once I didn't have the same desire to learn more, to do it. I didn't care, and like once you don't care about something, like, and you don't want to stop it, because you're not gonna be the best version of yourself. It's gonna show in your work.
Yeah,
But you can genuinely tell you're having fun. That's why your content is as good as it is, because you're just doing what you love, and I mean it really shows. So
awesome. I love that. Hey, just give me 1 second, just one. Why ain't you following us on our social medias? Why haven't you downloaded the podcast? Why? And I need to know. Huh? Huh? Exactly. There's no excuse. So this is what I need from you guys. I need for you to go right now. Before we get back to this show, I need for you to go to Instagram and I need you to go to TikTok. In the search bar, I need for you to type in a.p.inc media underscore. It'll pop right on up there. Just hit the follow button. And then I need for you to slide right on over. It's right there across the street from it. It's right there on Podcast Avenue. You'll see it as soon as you turn left from Social Media Street. Turn left and you'll see it. Podcast Avenue. Big old sign. The Word With Zay podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. And you can also slide it on YouTube as well if you want to watch it visually. But I need for you guys to go to those platforms, wherever you would like to tune in, and go and hit that follow button and also download. All right, love you guys. Let's get back to the show. All right, Marty, and everyone that is listening, it is now time for our first segment of this episode. Martina, you ready?
I'm ready.
So the segment is called Word of Riddle. And
Okay.
what this segment consists of, I give 5 riddles and you have to guess each one. You ready?
Yeah. I
All
think
righty.
I'm
All
kind of
right.
scared.
Don't be scared. You got it.
Okay.
All right. Riddle number one. Dog room edition now. This is dog room edition. Riddle number one.
Oh, this is
What?
gonna be really bad if I don't know this. Like, this is my entire career, Zay.
I think you got it. I think you
Okay.
got it. All right. What breed of dog loves living in the Big Apple?
Breed of dog. If I was a dog, and I'm just gonna take it like this. If I was a dog and I wanted to live in the Big Apple, I'd probably be a Chihuahua or a Dachshund.
No, ma'am.
That's not correct.
No,
Okay,
ma'am.
hold on. I'm just trying to put my mindset. If I was a dog, I'd
I'm gonna
probably
give
be
you.
a Chihuahua.
I'm gonna give
But
you
that
three
ain't
guesses.
okay. Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
start with
Multiple
one guess.
choice is my friend. Oh, I thought you go. Wait,
You get.
I need a hint.
Okay.
That ain't a hint.
Do you know what the Big Apple is?
New York.
Yes.
Yeah.
What breed of dog loves living in the Big Apple?
If I
It's a.
wasn't on
It's
my
a.
phone,
It's
I'd
a.
Google it.
You can't Google. You
Oh.
can't cheat. The breed starts with your. What breed of
Oh,
dog?
a Yorkie. A Yorkie. Why didn't I say Yorkie?
What kind of New Yorkie?
What kind of Yorkie?
Yes. What breed of dog lives living in the Big Apple? What kind of Yorkie is it?
A Yorkshire Terrier?
Brr.
What do you mean,
Last
Zay?
guess.
Zorkie is a breed.
What breed of
A
dog
mini
loves?
Yorkie?
No. What breed of dog lives living in the Big Apple? We
A New
say
Yorkie? A New Yorkie?
yes. Ding 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 ding. You
A
are
New...
correct.
No, that's not... A New Yorkie is not a... I think I was correct because...
York a Yorkie?
Oh, but I should have added new because of New York. Okay. I think I do good.
Amen. All right. Riddle number two.
Okay.
Why was the dog sweating?
Sweating. Needed a dog sweating. Is it? Give me a. Is it a? Is it a breed or is it an answer?
It's something that we put on the grill to eat. Why was the dog sweating? He was a what?
Oh, he was a hot dog.
Ding, 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 ding. See, it didn't take as long as the first one
No,
did.
no, sorry. That one's. I get it now. I get where we're going.
And you
Sorry.
know what? Let me correct myself because I kind of gave that sick. I just gave that one away, kind of, because I said he was a what, and it says he was a hot dog. So I kind of gave that one away.
It still counts. It still counts as me being
Yeah,
right.
it still
Yeah.
counts. You get the ding ding ding. All right. What's a dog's favorite pizza topping?
Oh, a pepperoni.
Come on.
Yeah,
Right
I
off
got.
the bat. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Oh, yeah. I knew that one.
I doubt you get the last two. You ready?
Okay.
What kind of stores does dogs try to stay away from?
What kind of store?
Yes, the dogs try to stay away from.
Kind of store. What kind of store? What kind of store?
You get three guesses.
Is it a grocery store? Is it like the name of a store?
It don't have the word store in it.
Okay.
You can get more than just food. I'll put it to you that way. You can get more than just food.
Say it again one more time.
What kind of store do dogs try to stay away from?
I feed meal. I said a feed meal glory. That is not right.
Oh my gosh.
Glory.
I've never
Nah,
even heard of that.
look, it was just what popped in my head. I don't know. I'm not gonna get that one. You gotta tell me.
Okay. A flea market.
Oh, duh. I should have knew that. Sorry. My bad.
Alrighty. Okay, last one.
Okay.
What breed of dog enjoys Bath time.
Let me tell you something. A lab loves a bath. I got one that hates a bath. But
Brr. That was guess number one. You get two more guesses.
what kind
What?
of breed? Is it an actual breed?
Yes. But it has something pertaining to a bath to the name of the dog. What breed of dog enjoys bath time? Get two more guesses.
I'm just gonna name breeds. Um, a doodle. Doodles hate baths, though.
Uh-uh.
Doodles hate a bath.
Uh-uh.
Um, but how do they have bath time in it? A bath? I don't.
No, it
I,
don't have the word bath time in it. It has a word pertaining to something that you do during bath time.
a word pertaining to something you do at bath time. That's a breed.
Yes.
I'm so upset because I feel like I should know this.
Got two more tries.
Up, I want to say Scrubadub. Scrubadub. That's not right.
Nah.
That's not even a breed.
I'm not even gonna count that as a guess.
No, that don't count. A Schnauzer.
I don't even know what a schnauzer. What?
You don't
What
know
is
what
a
a Schnauzer is?
schnauzer?
A
What is that?
Schnauzer. I'm gonna send you a picture of a Schnauzer. They're really
Please
fun to
do.
groom.
When
My
we get
groomer
off of
does.
this recording, please do, because I've never heard of that.
Oh my goodness, they're beautiful.
One more guess.
A
What breed
pit
of
bull.
dog? Who?
I love me a good pitty. A pit bull. I know that's right.
Brr. The answer to this riddle, what breed of dog enjoys bath time? The answer is Shampoodle.
Hey, I said a doodle. Couldn't that have
Poodle.
count? Oh my goodness,
You
doodle
said
and poodle.
doodle. It's poodle.
They're classified in at Marty's Pretty Pets. They are booked up under the same breed
Well,
because
this
they
is
both take the.
WWZP.
Fine, you win, Zay. You win. Touche, touche.
Yes, it's a Shampoodle. All
That was
right.
great. I think I did better than I thought I was gonna do.
You did. You did. You got how many? What I think you got like
One.
three. No. Yeah, two. You got 2 out of 5 right.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so you
good.
did pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, guys. We are getting step by step closer to the end of this episode. So, Marty, this next segment that we have is called A Moment in the Spotlight on Word with Zay.
Okay.
That segment, for nobody that doesn't know, for anyone that doesn't know that segment is where our guest gets the space and the opportunity to speak on whatever they would like to talk about, whether it's anything. Anything you'd like to talk about, you get the space and the opportunity right here in this moment. So, welcome to a moment in the spotlight on Word With Zay featuring Martina Jacobs.
Oh, do I start it?
Yes, it's your
Oh,
space and
okay.
opportunity to speak on whatever you want to talk about that you
Well,
felt like you couldn't talk about during this episode. Go ahead.
we got to talk about podcasts because I'm
Absolutely.
obsessed.
Let's go.
I'm obsessed. Okay.
Let's
Okay.
go.
So, what are your top 3 favorite podcasts?
Top 3. Coffee Convos is number 1 right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Coffee Convos with Kel Lowry and Lizzie Chrisley. Number 2 would have to be Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
And number 3 would have to be the Southern Tea with Lizzie Chrisley.
Okay. Coffee Combos, love it. Top tier podcast, love it. I am obsessed. Giggly Squad, with Paige DeSorbo and Hannah Berner. Have you listened to it yet?
I haven't. I've never
You've
listened
got
to
to.
it. I'm going
But
to whenever we get off this recording.
But also though, like I'm a reality TV girly. Like
Yes.
I am obsessed with reality TV. Like the Scandival drama. I don't know if do you know what that is? Scandival? Do you have you? Vanderpump Rules and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Okay, well, that was the whole thing. I'm like obsessed with like reality TV, and Bravo Giggly Squad, the podcast, was basically created on one of the shows I watched, and it is what got me into podcasts because I was watching the show. They were making a joke about the podcast or something. Then I started listening to the podcast, and then I just went on like a rabbit hole of like, oh my goodness, I love podcasts, you know. So
Mhm.
um, so Giggly Squad's number 2, and then number 3 is probably gonna have to be New Heights, just because like those are my brothers. Like Jason Kelsey and Travis Kelsey are my brothers, just like you. They don't
Oh.
know that, they don't understand, but I listen to them so much that those are my people. So yeah, those are my top 3. I was also like, I went down like a big like true crime podcast era of my life, but let me tell you, I started getting a little too deep in those. Okay, it was to the point where like I was losing sleep. Okay, I was like, I'm about to go find who killed John Bonet. I'm about to go figure it out
Jesus.
myself because like I get so invested in it. Um, I'm really big on like true crime. So a couple of there was one that's Killer Queens. No, Screen Queens. It's a podcast, and I liked it because like it's like they're not disrespectful in any way to the families or anything, but they kind of like it's not such a hardcore like brutal podcast. You know, like they put in a little humor in a respectful way. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like and it just kind of gives you information on cases. So I like stuff like that. What else could we talk about? True crime. About
Yes.
like the cases we like. I was really invested in the Menendez brothers, that like everyone needs to kind of go down that rabbit hole because that's a big thing. And the reason why I'm so invested in it, the Menendez brothers, okay, is because I feel like male sexual abuse is not talked about enough.
Nope.
I feel like it's kind of like it's kind of discredited, like it's not as up there like men are. And like as a mom of 3 boys, like I want my boys to know that they can speak on whatever they need to speak on. I don't want it to feel like, oh, it's just shunned from the, like I don't know. I think I got really, because I that was the first case that I've ever listened to where they talked about it, kind of, because I couldn't. Do you know about Jeffrey Dahmer?
I've heard of it.
I can't with Jeffrey. Like I can't go down that
Mm-mm.
rabbit hole.
Me
I
neither.
can't with that because of just how well it is. Like I can't get deep in there because like I remember the song I'll the Katy Perry song I'll Eat Your Heart Out like Jeffrey Dahmer, and I
Oh
remember being a
God.
kid, yeah, singing those lyrics. And now that I'm
Ooh.
older and I know what Jeffrey Dahmer, I was like, oh my goodness, Glory, I cannot believe I was ever saying. It's wild. Like I didn't. You didn't know. You don't know. You didn't. And I didn't know about the Jeffrey Dahmer stuff. So whenever the Menendez case, whenever I was like TikTok kind of got me involved in that, and then I was listening to podcasts about like that about them, and basically the Menendez brothers, they killed their parents brutally. I mean Glory, brutally.
Mm.
They brutally murdered their parents, and um they it's so deep. I could talk about it for like 3 hours, so I won't like dive into it. I will just say that like everyone should kind of. I think if you're interested in stuff like that, that would be a good case to kind of dive into because Netflix has like a monster show on it, like there's tons of podcasts on it that you could listen to, and basically where they're at right now is a lot of people think that they should be released from prison. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people feel as though they served their time, and then you
Yeah.
also have a lot of people that do not agree, so you can
Very
kind of like,
controversial.
yeah, and that's what I like. Like I like the controversy as to like I can't. You can just kind of dive into it and form your own opinion. Like what do you think? Because I'm very like mixed in my. I think what they did in prison is amazing. I appreciate the fact that they didn't like. like they're making, I mean, they know that they're going to be in prison the rest of their life, so they, so they're trying to make a difference, and I guess I really respect that. I respect that they um are doing work inside of prison. Like, aside, I also got kind of really, if we're talking about kids killing their parents, Gypsy Rose, like, she wrote a book. I really want to read that book, by the way. I would
Yes,
like to read the
yes,
book. um but Gypsy Rose, like, Gypsy Rose, she got out. So, but people's like, but Gypsy Rose didn't. It wasn't nowhere near as brutal as the Menendez brothers, so that's why. And she didn't do the killing like her brother, but
right.
still, she couldn't. She conspired. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like my kind of stance on it is, I mean, the Mendez, if you're going to let Gypsy Rose out, then maybe you should kind of consider letting the Menendez brothers out, seeing as how they have served so much time and they have kind of, you know,
Yeah,
gave so much more information, and there has been like more information coming out as far as like the sexual abuse with the Menendez brothers. That's, so I just feel like I mean, a reach another trial could probably be better, in my opinion. I think they should be given it.
yeah. And
But I
see,
could talk about that for hours. I'm sorry, I get so invested in it.
I love it. And I'm gonna say this right here, and then we're gonna start wrapping it up because we've been
Yeah,
on here for an hour and 13 minutes
yeah. I
now.
talked your head off.
Oh no, you are fine. Um, but I've heard of the Menendez brothers through listening to Coffee Convos,
Oh
but
yeah, they
I've
dived into it.
never, yeah, but I've never really dug deep into that case like I have Gypsy Rose.
Oh,
Now
you
that
dove
Gypsy
deep
Rose,
into the Gypsy Rose.
woo,
Okay, so what's your opinion? Like, do you think Gypsy Rose should be out? And I mean,
yes,
I
yes.
agree.
I truly feel like Gypsy Rose deserves to be out. And I feel like now that she is out, it is now time. If she wants to, it should be forced on her. But I feel like now that she's out, she should be able to finally be free, get mental therapy if she wants it, and
I think
finally
she, yeah.
live the life that she deserves because she had to live in this mentality of disabled, for lack of better terms, all literally just about her whole life. So she was dealing with that mentally, and I feel like now that she's out of prison, she's done her time for the crime that was committed. No, she did not do the crime, but she played a part in it. So it was right for her to do the time. But now that it's out, it's time for her to stay out and finally be free and live the life that she deserves.
I think she should be, but I also think, personally, we still should. Okay, I get her book came out, we've read it, we let her, we wanted to hear her stories after she got out of prison.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, I feel like she's made a good amount of money since, I would assume. You write a whole book, you go on a book tour, I would assume you get a good amount of money. I think now she needs to get the help she needs. She needs to step away from the spotlight.
Yes.
I do not think the media and like her going on all these podcasts and doing like all these tours and stuff is good for her. Good for her. Like, I'm worried, like, you have been through a lot in life, and like, let's we shouldn't be giving, my personal opinion is, though, that we should not be. Gypsy Rose does not need a platform. Sorry, point blank, period. I just don't feel like she can tell her story. She's did that. We've, she's did, we come on with your book tour, we're going to support you, that's a good thing. But then, like, next year, I want Gypsy Rose to be married somewhere, getting the mental health she needs. Maybe she's
Yes.
found the good Lord, and I need her to work on her mental self and put her first. And let's not, I don't think she should be given a platform, because she still did, because she still did kill her mama. Like, let's
Yeah.
be real. Like, I mean,
Like
you
for
could have
real.
walked
Yeah.
away. Like, again, if we're gonna be like the Menendez brothers, they did kill their parents. Like, they did do so. They did some things. So, like, I mean, and the dude was really in love with Gypsy Rose. So, like, he was gonna. She could have ran away with him and lived happily ever after. Okay,
Hmm.
so like, I just feel like, personally, I just don't think she needs, like, I'm not here for a Gypsy Rose podcast anytime soon. Like, I don't think she needs that. I think
Me.
her book
Mm-mm.
is her big enough platform. You can get your word out there because people need to hear your story. But also, like, let's not be out here like endorsing,
That's right.
you know.
Like for real, for
Because let's
real.
not forget, I think it was Lindsay Chrisley that said it, or Kel Lowry, allegedly. Lord, I don't want him to sue me.
Allegedly,
I
please
love
don't
them, but
sue us.
don't sue me.
Allegedly,
I love y'all. But they even said it themselves. Like, why is she getting a platform? Like, why are we
yeah.
like we're mad that the Menendez brothers can talk in prison, but again, it's not the same. I'm not saying it's the same, but I'm just saying as far as like killing parents, you know.
And you
Don't go
know
out.
what?
Don't be killing your parents. Okay, God,
Please
don't do that. Go
don't.
again. That back to the start of the podcast. If you have a problem, talk to some. I
Please,
don't care. Let's reach out. Let's reach out. Let's not conspire to do
yeah.
to kill folks. We love
It's
life.
like for real. Get help if you feel like you need help, get it. But I'm gonna say this one last thing about Gypsy Rose, and then we're gonna do our last segment, and then we're gonna get you out of here, Marty.
Okay.
All right. So, what I want to say about Gypsy, this last thing is she had the platform whenever she got out of prison, she already had the platform, and it's from her book. And
Mhm.
I love what you said. You know, she don't need to be on all of these tours. And now that she's out of prison, it's not time for you to build a platform and get your name out there. Now it's time for
Yeah.
you to go sit down in a therapist chair, talk to a professional, and work on your mental health.
Yeah. Because
You have
and
been.
and I feel like
Go
that
ahead.
should have been court ordered anyways. Like, I'm
Hmm.
sorry. Like, why can't that be a thing? If you want to, I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, why can't it be? I'm pretty positive it can be a thing where, like, you are mandated to seek some type of help. Like, I don't
Yes.
know, like, just you, like, it should have been like some type of stipulation that whenever Gypsy Rose got out of prison, but also, like, I never read her book. I don't know the work she did in prison. Like, I don't know how that goes. For all I know, she could have been doing therapy inside of prison, which,
Yeah.
if so, that's a blessing, but I definitely agree that she needs to focus on herself, and let's not focus on, like, going on all these podcasts making money, because I mean, you get I just don't think she needs to be a we don't need to make Gypsy Rose a celebrity. Like, we don't need
Right.
to she still did some things. We don't need to sit here and act like she deserves the platform. I know that sounds horrible. Like, but she does. Don't get me wrong, she deserves the platform to speak about her growth, which she has
Yes.
done. But now I
Absolutely.
need you to continue growing
That's right.
aside from the media type of thing, because
Hmm.
people were using Gypsy Rose at one point, right? Like, she was meeting men in prison that were just like using her along or something, like,
Oh
just
wow. No, I didn't
like
know that.
I know she's been engaged before, but it didn't work out. So,
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly. Yeah, let's get off the Gypsy Rose topic
Like
before
for
I be
real.
got sued. Let me be quiet.
All right, guys. This is we're getting close to the end of this episode. Um, thank you so much, Martina, my sister, my best friend. You know how much I love
I
you.
loved it.
I thank you so much for coming on this week for an episode of the Word With Zay podcast. I hope to have you back. Maybe one day in the future we have our own podcast together.
Right.
Come
God, we'd
on.
never shut up. We'd talk people's heads
Ooh.
off.
So on that note, we're gonna have our word of the day, and then we'll go see you guys next week. So our
Thank you for
word,
having me, Zay.
absolutely, absolutely. So our word of the day is coming from Psalms 33, verses 1 through 3. And it says, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together.
Mhm.
And once again,
Love it.
guys, Once again, Martina, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you to each and every one of you that has tuned in once again this week for an all new episode of the Word With Zay podcast. Make sure that you guys go and follow us on Podbean. Go and download the episodes wherever you get your pods: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. Make sure that you follow, download, rate, and review. And as always, stay blessed, stay tuned, because another episode of the Word with Zay podcast, oh yes, it's coming soon. So I hope you're ready. And that is our Word with Zay. Peace.